So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our ricotta filling together so we can set it aside and it'll be out of the way with. So in this bowl, I have some ricotta cheese. I'm going to throw in some Parmesan cheese and some mozzarella cheese, 1 large egg. And if you have some fresh parsley, add that to it, but I didn't, so I'm going to go ahead and add some of this seasoning in here. It has all the Italian herb seasonings in it. So now I'm just going to mix this well. You want to make sure your egg is fully blended. You want everything to be fully blended. And then I'm going to just set this aside. Now for the rest of the ingredients, you're going to need some mozzarella cheese. You're going to need some lasagna noodles. Now I'm using oven ready. You can use the regular ones. Just cook them al dente first. You're also going to need some chicken. Now you can take a rotisserie chicken and break it down, or you can, you just need a couple of pounds of chicken, so it's totally up to you. Here I have some diced onion, some olive oil. You're going to need some butter, a little bit of flour, some chicken broth or stock, a little bit of half and half, minced garlic, of course, we have to have garlic. You're going to need some fresh chopped spinach and some seasonings of your choice. I'm using the Trader Joe's umami seasoning and that garlic and herb seasoning, and some salt and pepper. And I do add a few more seasonings, but I'll let you know later on. Now in my skillet, I'm going to go ahead and add my olive oil. And then I'm going to throw in my onions and let those start to cook down until they get nice and soft. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add my butter in the skillet. And once that butter melts down, I'm going to go ahead and add in my flour. I'm going to start to build the roux for our bechamel sauce. I love that word, bechamel. So now we're just going to whisk that butter and that flour in together. And we're going to let this cook for a minute or two. You want it to get like a nice golden brown color. You want to cook all that raw flour taste out. Now after about a minute or two, you're going to go ahead and add in your chicken broth. I'm going to whisk that in slowly. You want to make sure you whisk it in well. Next, we're going to go ahead and whisk in our half and half. While this comes up to a simmer, we're going to go ahead and add in our seasonings. I'm adding in some black pepper, red pepper flakes, salt, and some of that umami seasoning and that Tuscan garlic herb seasoning. And I'm going to blend all that seasoning in. Now this is going to start to thicken up as it comes up to a simmer. This is basically our bechamel sauce right here. As you can see, it's getting nice and thick where it coats the spoon. That's what you want. So now I'm going to go ahead and add in my minced garlic and my chopped spinach. This is a spinach bechamel sauce. And it is so good, girl. So good, you gotta try it. This recipe really surprised me. I'm not a big fan of ricotta cheese, but the rest of this lasagna was awesome. So if you like ricotta cheese, you're gonna love this recipe. So here I'm adding in a little bit more seasonings. I sprinkled in some onion powder, a little bit more pepper, and a little bit more of that garlic Tuscan Italian herb seasoning. So just season it how you like it. But as you can see, it's simmered and now it's nice and thick and it's done. It coats the back of my spoon. It's done. So we're going to go ahead and remove this from the heat. Now here in my baking dish, I'm going to add a little bit of that bechamel sauce to the bottom. And then I'm going to add in my lasagna noodles. Next, I'm going to add in that ricotta cheese. We're just going to layer this lasagna like any other lasagna. Layer on some of that chicken. mozzarella cheese, and some more bechamel sauce. And we're basically going to repeat this process 2 more times. You just want to make sure you're adding that sauce in between layers because you want your lasagna to be nice and juicy, girl. You don't want no dry lasagna. Now on the top, you want to end it with noodles and then your sauce, and then we're going to top it with a bunch of mozzarella cheese. Hey, you see that subscription button? Go ahead and click it. You see that notification bell? Go ahead and click it and set it to all. And then we're going to pop this in the oven at 375, covered for about 45 minutes. After 45 minutes, you can pop it under the broiler for about 2 to 3 minutes just so that cheese can get nice and brown and bubbly like this. Yes, girl. I was proud of this lasagna. It was beautiful and quite tasty. As you can see, it is juicy. This was a bomb lasagna, you guys. You have to try this recipe. Yum.